everybody, to another edition of Fantasy Forecast Fast Lane Show. I am your host, Coach Philip Kraft. So tonight we've got a Saturday night race at Richmond, the second race in the playoffs. We've got a great show in store today. For those that are joining us for the first time, I break down every driver by the stats. I use the numbers, and the numbers, more times than not, do not fail us. So this is by the numbers. It's not just educated guesses. This is math. I've done the math, so you guys don't have to. It's a great show. It's been proven for those that have been with me since the Twitter days before I started making videos. You guys know this stuff works. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and I can keep pushing these things out week after week and have you guys keep winning money. But to do that, you guys have to subscribe. Let me know that it's working for you and I can keep pumping it out. Now, without further ado, let's get to our drivers. And what I've done is I have broken it down to they're ranked right now in the top drivers. So it's not necessarily ranked in DraftKings order of price. It is where they graded out by the numbers. Now, I will tell you some of my gut feelings also, but my top driver by the math at Richmond tonight is Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is coming in at 9,800 on DraftKings. He's starting in the 6th place. Last 3 races finished 2nd, 8th, and 1st. Now, also, at Richmond, the last 3 races, we have had 2 dominators. Kyle Busch has been one of those dominators in all 3 races. The other dominator, Martin Truex Jr., which we see right down here, also in the blue. For those that are just joining us for the first time, if a guy is ranked in the blue, those are my favorite drivers to play in DFS. So make sure you are targeting these guys where you can. So Kyle Busch, definitely an excellent play. And you're going to notice right here in the blue, we've got 3 Joe Gibbs Racing drivers, which we've got Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. In our 2nd place, Denny Hamlin. DraftKings price is $11,600. Starting in the 7th position. Last 3 races, he finished 3rd, 5th, and 16th. He's got an average finish of 9.15. Top 5, finishing in the top 5, 48% of the time. Top 10, 63%. Top 20, 81% of the time. He has an average led laps out of all of his races at 61.4. So what that means is he has raced in 27 races at Richmond. He averages leading 61.4 laps per race. That's better than anybody else. Kyle Busch would be 2nd with 51.2. That's good. You want to target the Joe Gibbs cars here, especially Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. We'll get to Martin Truex Jr. in just a moment. Kevin Harvick is our 3rd ranked driver at 11,300. He's starting on the pole. That does scare me. I don't like targeting the pole guys, but when they're good, they're good. However, he's expensive. He's on the pole. There is a lot of risk with taking somebody on the pole because if they move back, you're losing points. If they don't move back very far, it's not going to hurt you. So if he still finishes in the top 10, you're good. If he starts first and is your dominator and finishes first, you are golden. All right. So play at your own risk. Just know that I warned you. If he's starting first and something happens, he gets in a wreck, which we don't play wrecks unless we're looking at the DNF percentages. But be careful with that. So last 3 races, he's got a 7th place finish, 4th place, and a 2nd place. Average finish here, 9.82. He's also got 3 wins. So if you look over here at the win totals, out of the first three, Kyle Busch has 6 wins at Richmond, which is double more than anybody else. Denny Hamlin has 3. Kevin Harvick has 3. Now we're going to get to Brad Keselowski at 10,100. He's starting in the 9th position. Last 3 races, 4th. He also led 89 laps here last year. He's got a 7th place finish and a 9th place finish. Each year, he's out of those 3 races, he's led 89, 31, 67. Has an average finish of 12.71. 1 win here, so definitely a good target there. More expensive than I'd like. The Brad Keselowski's been a little cheaper lately. They've got him priced back up. So DraftKings they're expecting him to do well. Yeah, I mean any of these guys in blue you can play. I don't know how many shares of Brad that I'll have because I want to definitely be targeting Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. Now we're to Martin Truex Jr. Starting in the 14th position. His DK price is at 10,900. Last 3 races, check this out. He finished first, and third. Also, in the last 3 races for Truex at Richmond, he led 109 laps, 186, 163. I do not see how you can fade Martin Truex Jr. Now, I have said this before and I'll say it again. I never want to go all in on a driver in NASCAR because of the uncertainties. You just don't ever know what's going to happen. If a wreck happens and you went all in and the guy wrecks out, he's killed every single one of your lineups. But I will have a ton of Truex Jr. today. Now, his overall stats are meh, but if you look at the last 3 at Richmond, they're unbelievable. He's got 2 wins, which we just saw there. So that's out of the last 3 races. But then over here, we get in a little mediocrity. So his top 5, only 18% of the time out of his races, top 10, 39, top 20, 57. Average led laps per race is 36.4, which is good. It's got a DNF percentage of 14%. It's in the yellow. It's not great. It's not terrible either. But it's what have you done for me lately here? Good gracious. I mean, there's nobody better than that. So if you're just looking at recency, there's no reason to fade Truex. I will be trying to get some lineups in that has a combination of Kyle Busch and Truex, or a combination of Hamlin and Truex. And I'll have some of Busch and Hamlin. Uh, I'll be working some things out just like that. I definitely want to be targeting those 3 Gibbs guys more so than anybody else. But all those guys in blue, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Harvick, Keselowski, Truex Jr., all great plays. Those are the top 5 fantasy forecast plays that graded out. And then we're going to get to the green. Ryan Newman at only 7,000. He's starting in the 21st position, but check out his stats. His numbers check out great. Last 3 races, 5th, 9th, 15th. And when I say last 3, remember we're talking about Richmond. I don't give a crap about all the other races at different tracks. I want to know what they've done here. So it's kind of like golf. Some guys just have better tracks than other tracks. In golf, players have better courses than they do other courses. So we're only concentrating on Richmond. So let's look at his average finish, 12.33. All right, so he's already doing well there. Is a very positive start finish difference of 8.67 since he's starting in 21st position. He's got 1 win here. Top 5% at 22%, top 10, 56, top 20, 89, average led laps, 13.4 out of 36 races. He only has 1 DNF. Yeah, fire him up. I definitely don't mind playing some Ryan Newman today, especially for the price. He's cheap enough. He's starting far enough back. He can get you some points. I know at the other races here recently, the Roush cars haven't been performing as well. Roush actually came out and said that the pandemic has really hurt the team financially. That's him and Chris Buescher. So, yeah, but yeah, you can play him. It's hurt every team. You can play him. Joey Logano, 9,300, starting in the second position. That's going to scare me too, kind of like Kevin Harvick. And Joey Logano doesn't have quite the stats that Harvick has. Last three races, 11th place, second, and 14th. Average finish 11.14. So he's definitely in the negative for the start finish difference is negative 9.14. But he's got 2 wins here, so he can get around. Top 5, 41%. Top 10, 55. Top 20, 82. Let's see, make sure I'm still on this. Yep, I'm on the right guy. So it's decent stats. He and Brad, I guess I'd rather play Brad Keselowski over Joey Logano. However, Logano is a little cheaper at 9,300. Still fairly expensive. With his stats, I would actually rather see him at like 8-9. I know that's $400, only $400 cheaper, but I paying over 9,000 for those stats and starting in second position. I'm not a huge fan of that. If he was starting back in 15th with those stats, oh yeah, I could definitely make a case for that. But it is hard to make a case for his price starting in the second position. He could very well win it though. You never know. Chase Elliott, 10,500, starting in the 12th position. Last three races, 13th, 15th, and 4th. Average finish, 12.78. So he runs pretty well here, but he only has 2 top 5s. That's at 22% of his races. 3 top 10s. That's at 33%. And top 20, he's at 89%. And that's out of 9 races. So you can play Chase. He's so expensive, though. I don't see a lot of upside. I really don't see him getting up there and really winning this race for the price. Like I said, I'm going to be targeting the Gibbs guys. There's no reason not to on the past experience at Richmond. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. Those are going to be my 3 top guys I'm targeting. So if I'm looking at a guy at 10,500, I'm going with a Gibbs guy. All right, Daniel Suarez. He's been running better lately. I think he's getting used to the equipment that he has, not trying to overdrive it, just finishing where he can. He's only 5,600. He's starting in the 28th position. His stats here are really good. But remember, his stats that we have were in either Joe Gibbs equipment or Stuart Haas equipment. We don't have stats in his crap equipment that he has now. But he's starting 28th, and just listen to the stats that he has. We've got a 9th place finish, 18th, 17th, an average finish of 12.17. So that's a start finish difference of 15.83. He does have 0 top 5s, but 3 top 10s at 50%, and 100% of the time he's finished in the top 20. Now, if he can continue that streak and finish in the top 20, and he's starting 28th, you're going to get some decent place differential points because that's 8 points right there in the bank if he finishes 20th. And also, you get the points for finishing 20th plus the 8 that he gains from moving up spots. So I don't hate that play today. What? Guys usually hear me say, Suarez, what are we going to do with him? I don't hate it. I'm not going to say I love it. I don't hate it. If you're going to play him, I'll be like, I'll endorse it. I'll endorse it if you're going to play Suarez. Clint Boyer, 8,300. Starting 11th. Last 3 races, 8th, 3rd, and 10th. Average finish, 12.5. He's got 2 wins. Ooh, track that Boyer likes. 2 wins here. Top 5%, it's only 18. It's okay. Top 10, 57. We're moving up. Top 20, 79. Average led laps, 14.04 out of 28 races. Only 1 DNF. Yeah, we can play some Boyer today. I don't mind that play. He's 8,300. If he likes the track, he likes the track. There are some tracks that Boyer just does not do well here, and if he doesn't like the track, he usually does not do well. If he does like the track, he's usually going to run well. So I can endorse that pick if you're playing him in your lineups. And I should have mentioned anybody in green here is a good play. So we've got blue is best, green's good, yellow use caution, red is a fade. Do not play those guys. So where are we at? Jimmy Johnson, 8,700, starting in 18th position. So we got some room to move up there for Jimmy. Last 3 here, finished 10th, 12th, and 8th. Average finish, 14.89. So that's a start-finish difference of 3.11. He's got 3 wins here. Top 5, 19%. Top 10, 44%. That's pretty good. Top 20, 72%. Only 1 DNF out of 36 races, so he is more than likely going to finish the race. And if he finishes the race, he's going to go up past the 23rd position. He's going to finish in the top 15. So, I'm sorry. I was looking at Stenhouse. If Jimmy Johnson finishes a race, he's going to move up from 18th. He's going to be in the top 15. So you're going to get some positive points differential there. I expect top 15 definitely. He could get up there. He could contend for top 10. But more than likely, it's going to be between 11 and 15 if I had to guess where Jimmy's going to finish. So if you got some prop bets on where Jimmy's going to finish, between 11 and 15. That's where I'm saying for Jimmy. Now, Stenhouse. Man, DraftKings. Dadgum you. DraftKings keeps pricing him up higher than I want him to be. At 8,100, he's still not that expensive, but I liked him a lot better when he was in the 7s. Stenhouse is at 23rd, starting 23rd. His last 3 finishes are 15th, 16th, and 13th. He's got an average finish of 19.14, so he's got a positive start-finish difference of 3.86. He's only got 1 top 5 here at 7%, 2 top 10s, 9 top 20s. I like Stenhouse. I will usually play him almost every week unless he's just way too expensive or he's starting towards the front. This is a guy that is fearless. As long as he doesn't wreck, he's going to charge up to the front. All right, I didn't look at his DNF. Where's his DNF? 0 DNFs. That's good, guys. That's when you want to target Stenhouse. When his DNF percent is at 0%, 14 races, that's where you target him. When his DNF is like way too high at a racetrack, that's where you're like, nah, let's pump the brakes. But it's not. Play some Stenhouse. I will have some Stenhouse today. Kurt Busch, 9,100, starting in the 8th position. Last 3, 18th, 11th, and 18th. Man, that's not looking all that great. Average finish, 15.37. So he's got a start finish difference of -7. But he does have 2 wins. Yeah, I'm not going to play a lot of Kurt Busch. If he was starting outside the top 10, I'd be more likely to be playing some Busch today, but he's not. He's starting in the 8th position. There's some better cars around him that are probably going to pass him. He could finish 8th, but then he could drop back to, I'll say 8th to 14th. That's where Kurt Busch is probably going to fall in. 9,100. It's not gonna kill you in your lineup if he drops back. But I want the guys that are going to win. So yeah, if the lineup works out where I've got, I don't know, 9,100, the exact price for my last guy, I don't mind putting him in there. But for the price, I'd rather drop down to Eric Jones. And I'll talk about him in just a moment. Now we're at Eric Amarola, 8,500, starting in the 10th position. Last three here, 16th, 23rd, and 5th. Got an average finish of 16th, which is a start-finish difference of -6. Ooh, I'm not a huge fan. Amarola had a roll there for a while where he just kept finishing in the top 10. Great. Then he got off that roll, and he really hasn't got back yet. So pump the brakes a little bit on Amarola. I'm not a huge fan of him today, especially starting in the 10th position. If he was starting 20th, then we're talking about a different story. But I don't see a lot of upside there. Matt Kenseth, 6,700, starting in the 19th position. Now, he did race here in 2018, which is his last race at Richmond. He finished 25th. He has an average finish of 16.97. He's got 2 wins, 6 top 5s, so that's 16%. Top 10s at 43%, so that's in the blue. That's really good. Top 20s, 23, top 20, 62%. Average lead laps, 27.4 out of 37 races. He's got 3 DNFs, which is only 8% because he's raced here 37 times. Kansas is a tough one to do because you don't know what his team if they're going to be synced up. They've been running better lately, so I don't hate the play. If you want to play Kenseth, I'm not going to talk you out of him. If you don't want to play him, that's fine too. I'll probably have some sprinkled in here and there just because the price and what his stats have been in the past when he was at Roush Racing, when Roush was on top, and then he went to Joe Gibbs Racing, and they've been on top. That's where he got all those stats. Now, the last race that he did run in 2018 was with Roush, but he came in as kind of a relief driver somewhat for Trevor Bayne. Trevor Bayne wasn't having a good year, and they just needed a spark for the team, try to get the team better with a veteran driver, and he came in just to help make the car better. So I can't really look at that race. That's kind of an outlier. Anyway, moving on from Kenseth. Now we got Bubba. Bubba has some big news this week. He is going to be leaving Richard Petty Motorsports at the end of the season. So he is a free agent, I guess. He more than likely already has a job lined up. He's a good race car driver, stuck in a mediocre car that usually finishes in the 20th position. With that being said, Bubba is starting 30th today. And if he's got a car that'll finish 20th, that is 10 differential points. So let's just take a look at his stats, shall we? Last 3 races, he finished 12th after starting 37th. Ooh, I like that. Then he's got a 27th place finish and another 27th. He's got an average finish of 22.75, but his start finish difference is a +7, so that's good. He's got 0 top 5s, 0 top 10s, and only 1 top 20. That top 12 is only top 20 here. Never led any laps. He's only got 4 races, no DNFs. I could definitely fire up some Bubba today. He's been running well. I think Richard Petty Motorsports, they're wanting to win. They're wanting to attract a good driver to their team. So not only is Bubba wanting to get on a better team, but Richard Petty Motorsports is also wanting to show that, hey, we still got it and we want a good driver to replace Bubba. So I can definitely see both of them working together and really trying hard to get a good finish for Bubba and the team. So I definitely like some Bubba. You can play some Bubba today. Eric Jones, 8,900. So those Joe Gibbs guys I was talking up at the front, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Martin Trex Jr., all Joe Gibbs. Guess who else is a Joe Gibbs driver? Erik Jones, 8,900, starting in the 17th position. Now, last race he did finish 38. Ugh. But then he's got a 14th and 11th. He's got an average finish of 20th because of that daggum 38 place finish. Let's see. He's got 0 top 5s. All right. 1 top 10, 4 top 20s, but only 6 races. And he's only got that 1 DNF, which was the last race here. Yeah, you can fire some Erik Jones. He's gonna drive pretty well. Top 12. That's what I'm gonna say for Erik Jones. Top 12. Top 12. Ryan Preece, 6,100, starting in the 24th position. Last 3, 30th, 20th. Well, and that was his rookie season last year. Average finish, 25th. I'm just kind of meh on Preece. You can play him if you want to. He's in the green. He's cheap enough. He's starting 24th. It's okay. Austin Dillon, 7,900, starting in the 3rd place. That's tough. That's tough to swallow when he's starting that far up. I don't see him staying there. Top 15, Austin Dillon. I don't like him for my lineups. I don't like him for 50-50s. GPPs, it's a stretch to get him in there. I'll be looking elsewhere other than Austin Dillon. I know he's in the green, but more than likely I'm going to have 0 shares of Austin Dillon. That pick does just not thrill me. Then we get a Ty Dillon, 6,300, starting 27th. Now, if Austin Dillon was starting 27th, that'd be a different story. Ty Dillon at 27th. Let's look at his last 3. 26th, 21st, 28th. Average finish, 23.83. Yeah. You can use caution if you need that salary relief. I think I'd rather go to Corey Lejoy, which is right underneath at 5,800, starting 34th. Last 3, 29th, 26th, 32nd. Average finish, 29.6. It's got a positive start-finish difference of 4. Something just kind of tells me Corey Lejoy would be a better play at one of those cheaper guys there. If you're going down here to the yellow. William Byron, 7,400. He's in the yellow. Starting 5th. That's going to be a fade for me. Now, he can get up there and lead. He's got good equipment. Alex Bowman, the same thing. He's starting 4th. William Byron and Alex Bowman, basically the same driver. They have similar driving skills. They're both Hendrick cars. Their cars are usually set up about the same. So if one's running well, the other one's going to run well. If one's running pretty bad, the other one's running pretty bad. It's kind of weird how that works, but that's the way it has been. With them starting so far up, their stats aren't that great here. I'm not going to be playing Byron or Bowman. That could come back and bite me in the butt, but you got to take a stand somewhere. So I'm not playing them. Chris Buescher, 5,900, starting 25th. Yeah, his stats aren't that great. Finished 31st, 22nd, 30th. Nah. If you want to play him, you can. He's cheap enough, 5,900. Who would I rather have, Corey Lejoy or Chris Buescher? Man, that's tough, actually. Buescher's got the better equipment. Lejoy, starting further back, has got a little more upside as far as moving up, I suppose. Buescher can move up a little bit, but I don't see a top 10 in his future. Maybe a top 20. I don't see a top 20 out of Corey Lejoy. But it's one of those where how much upside is there for either one, and the prices are similar. Flip a coin, see who lands on. Ryan Blaney in the yellow. Whoa, 9,500, starting 15th. Oh, that looks attractive. Let's see what's going on there. It's got last 3 finishes, 17th, 25th, 19th, average finish 25.5. So start finish difference negative 10.5. Ryan Blaney's got 0 top 5s, 0 top 10s, only 3 top 20s out of 8 races at Richmond and 1 DNF. Ooh, those are not good stats for somebody at 9,500. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't all of a sudden flip the switch and tear this racetrack up and be really good. He's got good equipment. He's a great race car driver, and he very well could get up there and get you a top 10. But if we're just looking at the numbers, and that's what we're doing, this is all by the numbers. This is not gut feeling or anything like that. Brian Blaney is a fade. Definitely a fade looking at other guys in his price range that you would much rather play that have better numbers. If you play him at your risk and know that I told you, I did the numbers. The numbers do not support playing Ryan Blaney. If you play him and the numbers are right, but if he proves the numbers wrong, you can be like, I proved the numbers wrong. Hey, great for you. Great. Glad you won the money. All right. Reed Sorenson, fade. He's in the red. Anybody in the red, not playing. Timmy Hill, we're not playing. Now we're going to get to some guys, some rookies that haven't run here yet. Christopher Bell, starting in the 26th position, 7,200. There's no numbers there. So I got him in the green because his equipment is from Joe Gibbs. These Joe Gibbs cars are so good at Richmond. So, yes, I do like some Christopher Bell. He could definitely get you a top 20, even a top 15. Starting from the 26th position, that's good. That's what you want. That's going to build your lineup. It's going to win you some money if you're hitting on all the other guys. Tyler Reddick, 6,900, starting in 22nd position. Reddick's been great this year. And for a rookie, been awesome. I could definitely endorse Reddick, starting in the 22nd position. John Hunter Nemechek, 6,500, starting in the 31st position. I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit on Nemechek. 31st, yeah, he's got a little room. He can move up. I don't know if there's a whole lot of upside there, so use a little caution. Davison, I'm not playing Davison. Not playing Poole. Not playing Hoff. Not playing Yaley. Ooh, Cole Custer, the other rookie. Cole Custer actually did run here last year. Finished 33rd. He started 38th, finished 33rd. Today, oh, wait. I'm sorry. Looking at the wrong guy. He finished 26th last year. Started 10th. Finished 26th. So he moved back 16 spots. So if anybody that played him last year in this race, he killed your lineup. Today he's starting 13th. That's just way too high for a rookie for me. I'm not going to be playing Custer. I don't see the upside there. So, no, don't play Custer. Matty D, he's a sentimental favorite. I do like the Wood Brothers car. And a lot of his stats were in lesser equipment. But he's starting 16th. Okay. Last 3 races, 14th, 24th, 34th. Got 1 DNF. He's only got 2 top 20s. But like I said, it was in lesser equipment. I could be talked into moving Matty D up to the yellow and in the caution area. He's not a total fade for me. He's not somebody I'm going to just be reaching out to target either. So use a little caution if you're using Matty D. I don't think he'll be highly owned. So if you want to throw him into a GPP, maybe not a bad play. 50-50s, I wouldn't. I'd stay away. I would use him as a red guy for 50-50s. GPPs, you can bump him up to a yellow, a caution guy. Then we got Joey Gase. Not playing Joey Gase. Michael McDowell. No, his stats here are not good either. So fade Michael McDowell. So remember, this race is tonight. It is Saturday night. It is not Sunday. Football is starting tomorrow. So this is our time, our NASCAR time to win the money. People are starting to concentrate on NFL football, and I'm going to be trying to put together some stuff for the NFL games tomorrow for you guys. So hit that subscribe button. I'll be pumping out these videos. I'll have some more football stuff. I had Thursday night up for you guys. I saw several were able to catch that, and for the game flow, I was right on. And there for a little while, it looked like I might be winning $1 million in one of those big GPPs, but it did drop back down to earth right there at the end. So look for my NFL content coming out here shortly. So hit that subscribe button so you guys will be the first ones to be notified when I drop another video. So you guys stay safe and stay cashing.